Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another podcast today, or Sheriff's Podcast. Doing two podcasts in one day is crazy, but there's things that needs to be addressed because we're coming so close to elections. And there's two topics I want to speak about today. I want to speak about a political topic and I want to speak about a personal topic. So let me get to the political topic. Today I noticed Bradley Sampson, aka Doggy, doing a press conference. And from all indications and from inside sources, he's allegedly tipped. First, he was tipped to be prime minister candidate. Then he said he was tipped to be a minister. He didn't say which minister. Today we heard that he was tipped to be the Minister of Education. And the Win Party continues to embarrass themselves in many ways, form, and fashion. It is a disgrace to Guyana of what's happening. And frankly, it's a comedy show. Who in their right mind takes Doggy seriously? I commend him for the prayer at the beginning because clearly he prays a lot, and I commend him for that because it was a nice prayer. I give him that. But a Sheriff podcast, and because of election season, we try to do a lot of polling. We try to look at trends that's happening. We try to be on top of our game, so to speak. And coming back to the point of the Win Party and Orti Mohammed's, it is absolutely ridiculous that we hear from a man like Doggy, a press conference from Doggy, and we haven't heard a single press conference yet from the presidential hopeful. Now, at the end of the day, who in their right minds, Indo-Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese, Amerindians, we're a country of 6 races. Now, who takes Doggy seriously? No one. I can tell you that. This is a man who curses, beats women up with gun, lies, says he was once supporting the PPP. He came back to Guyana. He started to cry because there were so many poor people. But then you go on his social media and you see him showing stocks of maybe a $2 million at casinos or wherever he's at. And he buys Benz 2 or 3, or don't know if they're his or somebody else's, I'm not too sure. But he says they're his. But all of a sudden, this guy, Doggy, aka Bradley Sampson, or Bradley Sampson, aka Doggy, whichever, we don't care, comes out and says he cares about poor people. Right? Now we had him do a whole hour press conference today. So what we've been noticing is what I've been referencing for the longest while. Azzedine Mohammed is so obsessed with the current Vice President, the Honorable Dr. Bharat Jagdeo. He's so obsessed with him. And that's why we had to do this podcast, because we wanted to prove a point to our viewers and how true this story is. So he locked himself in a room today watching the Vice President so he can get pointers to speak at his rallies, and put Doggy to do the press conference because it clashed at the same time. Now, is the clashing of the press, last week it was the same, this week is the same, is clashing of the press conference a coincidence, or is it purposeful? I can tell you it's purposeful. It's purposely done. And you got people like Fatah and Odessa Primus coming out and say, oh, the Vice President only gets this amount of views, and Mohammed gets double the amount of views, or Doggy or whoever. But you got to remember that multiple platforms like Sheriff News Network, News Source, Newsroom, NCN, Ignite News, all of these news, plus the Vice President's personal page, Department of Public Information covers him, and many more journalists and pages. So when you combine those numbers together, it is actually triple than what Team Mohammed, when they go out and say what they get. But they don't tell you this. They come and they lie. So at least you can say that today, Sheriff Podcast has proven a point, and not lying, that whenever the Honorable Vice President goes and speaks, Azzedine Mohammed goes in, according to a source in his family, a room, locks up with a notepad and a pen to take pointers for his rallies. And clearly, we can see today that instead of him doing the press conference, he put Doggy to do the press conference. It's mind-blowing that people are still, and persons are still supporting the Win Party. Because how are you, where are the intellectual people that are running this party? Where are the Mark France, the doctors, where the Haley lady, Sabaro Haley, or so, whatever her name is? Where are the people where are the intellectual people, the people that have been in politics for a long while? So, I mean, we've proven a point today that clearly Azzedine Mohammed is obsessed. His obsession with the Vice President is real. And every day we say something and we come back the next day and it becomes a reality. It's like I have a black, I can swear to God, like my mother tell me the other day about, like, you got black tongue. Now, not criticizing anybody's party look, but it looked like Doggy put up 4 cardboard together and put up a vertical and a horizontal thing, and that was his platform. This guy says nothing of sense. If Doggy, I will challenge Doggy right now to show us his credentials from his school, his degrees, what he's capable of, if he's capable of doing anything other than make himself a clown. I mean, the audacity of the Win Party is just, I can't understand how people and how persons are taking or understanding and believing the Win Party. We all know Muhammad said that Jagdeo sanctioned him, which is not true. Everybody knows this in Guyana. Even the Win Party supporters knows this. Oh, Jagdeo has a role in playing, or the PPPC government has a role in playing closing the accounts. No, you're sanctioned by OFAC. The US ambassador even had to clarify yesterday again that she's not interfering. She's just here to state the facts and the facts only. So, at the end of the day, I want our viewers to understand, and my viewers to understand, where we're coming from. We're the PPP party, and I'm not a part of the PPP party. I'm not a member, but I look at these things. And for the persons that are in the borderline of voting, or you're thinking who to vote for, think about watch the press conference with Doggy today. And watch and hear what he has to say. It's nothing sensible. The man wants to open a Jerry Springer type of show. And that is the public image and the perception and the persona of the Win Party. Now, I know I can get a flagging for this on TikTok, because Muhammad has his bots and his people that he pays to go out and say things about me and whatever it is. I don't care anymore. I used to. At this point I've gotten so used to it, I don't care anymore. I look at it. I actually look at it to get a good laugh out of it. I want to come back to another topic with Hannah yesterday, because I actually watch back my podcasts every time I do them. And I want the Indo-Guyanese to understand this. She didn't praise the great, the honorable Dr. Cherry Jagan or Janet Jagan. This is for specifically the Indo-Guyanese, because she said the founding members or the founding fathers, but clearly Hannah doesn't know her history of Guyana. Both Cherry Jagan, the Honorable Cherry Jagan, the legend Cherry Jagan, and Forbes Burnham, who I don't have a problem with, or he's long gone, both founded the PPP party, and then it was broken off. Forbes Burnham broke off from the PPP and went and created the PNC. So when you're talking about founding fathers, you gotta mention both names. What I forgot to say is, you remember when Forbes Burnham burned the house of Israel down? But Hannah doesn't know the facts. She's another comedian that saved herself from even being on the candidate list. She didn't imagine, and come back to family again. Imagine she's just pretending to support Azadin. Because if you are so embroiled in the politics and you're going to sign memorandums and these things, why are you not on the candidates list? Crazy, right? It's either I'm crazy or they're crazy. One of the two. On September 1st, we're gonna know who's crazy and who's not crazy. But we have to understand that Forbes Sampson Burnham took Guyana 40 years back. he was such a he was a good leader at first, and I'll give him that. But then he wanted to make Guyana self-reliant. And this is what the Win Party wants to do. They want to make Guyana self-reliant. And the older folks in the older generation would know what I'm talking about. See, I do a lot of research, I read a lot. And coming back to the point of you cannot put two coherent sentences together. It's like I can't put two coherent sentences because I flop on the one anyways. But you can't put a presidential hopeful cannot put two coherent sentences together. And you are so obsessed with the Honorable Vice President, you have no values, you have nothing to tell the people. So all you go out and tell them daily is, yes, the PPP sanctioned me and they closed my accounts and blah, 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 blah. Right? Nonsense. Nothing of sense you talk. Nothing of Ghana's future you know about. All you know about is going on your boat and having people giving you blowjobs and touching women's breasts and all of these things. We've all seen it. The Muslim community, I am sure, is looking at it as well. Now, again, I have nothing against Azadeen Mohammed. What I have against this guy is he thinks that because running for president, which he's not going to be, by the way, he's going to maybe get a seat or two, or maybe not even, because every time he opens his mouth, he loses a vote. Imagine you put Doggy to do a press conference, and I just want to put this podcast on a quick hold for a second. I need to answer this call. It's very urgent. Let me know when you're ready, producer. So the press conference in an essence is what Doggy spoke about today was why you should vote for, well, not why, he telling you to vote for Win, he talking about me, talking about what else he was talking about, producer?
The story this morning.
Oh, the story when they stole, when they pay the guy to steal the truck. Well, that's one thing I want to speak about too as well. So it's come to my attention that, as you can remember, what Mohammed did with the drone operator, paid off the drone operator, and the man dropped the case, and blah, 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 whatever it is. Can't blame the guy for taking an X amount of dollars, right? Now, this stealing of the truck is not between me and anybody else. It's two trucks that were stolen. It's the truck that he paid to steal, which was my truck, and it was a truck that Andrew, our driver, stole. So that's two Grand Theft Auto charges you're talking about there, right? Now it's come to my attention that his family is reaching out to reporters to want to do press conferences and whatever. Look, my truck was parked at my yard, and we had first of all, the only trucks that ever works at nights at Sheriff Construction is sand trucks, not a high-up truck. And what he stole was a high-up truck. So a few reporters and social media influencers reached out to me and said to me, oh, the family wants to do a live interview. I said, go right ahead. I don't have an issue. I have a confession on tape for this man. I took him to a JP. There was about, I could say, about 20 persons there at the JP. Nobody forced him to sign anything. Nobody did anything to him. So go ahead. I would recommend the influencers and the what you call them, the journalists. Go ahead and do your interview. I am the victim here. Sheriff Construction is the victim here. We left our truck in our yard park secured. Now, because the security guard knew him, because he was working with us, as you heard this morning, for 2 years plus, right? Obviously, didn't pick teeth about it, think maybe he had to go do a job or whatnot. But it is funny that all of these influencers want to do interviews. They want to do interviews because they're paid by Muhammad. He gets away with everything because at the end of the day, he pays off people. He goes and he says, hey, I'll give you X amount of millions of dollars. I don't want to be charged. I don't want to go in the station. So he's gonna reach out to their family. I can guarantee you this. He's gonna reach out to the family. He's gonna pay them off again. Right? He's gonna pay them off again. They're gonna come out with their own story and say that we lie at your podcast. But guess what? We have a JP paperwork. You can't go back from that. The man is going to be arraigned tomorrow. Whatever he wants to say in court, who paid him, who didn't pay him, that's his problem. We have the JP paperwork of what he said, not what we said. He signed it in front of a JP. So be my guest and go. Now, I want to speak about the family of the truck that was stolen. I am absolutely sorry from the bottom of my heart that happened to you guys, but the truck was already crashed anyways. So the same time everybody saw the video, the lady was going on and on like she's crazy. Oh, this is sheriff truck, the owner's supposed to be responsible, blah 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 blah, like a crazy woman. Our number is on truck 2275691. Call the number, somebody picks up, we come there. I was there personally at the station last night. The police is like, oh, we have to impound both trucks. We have to charge the person. And the reason we got it is when he ran into the bushes after the persons cornered him, he left a phone. Now, me, while walking out the station, after, I got to go see what's going on with my business and my company and my trucks. Or one truck. But, I say trucks because we have many. But coming out, my security was like, the police found the phone in our truck. So I said, well, if they find a phone, let's call the phone and see, so we can know who is the culprit. Now, the man phone, he had credit or something like that. I can't remember. It was late last night. And then the police at Providence did a wonderful job of figuring out that the phone had a memory card inside. And when we pull up, as soon as we pull up and we pull up the pictures, my fleet manager was like, yes, this is the guy. As you can see, he made a full confession this morning. But as you know, Muhammad likes to do backdoor dealings. I am 100% sure by tomorrow they're going to spin this story and they're going to spin it that, oh, sheriff's lying. Let me tell you something. Sheriff has hundreds of trucks. There's no need to steal anybody's truck. We don't, this truck that the driver stole, our truck, and the truck that was crashed, right? We don't even have a truck like that. So there's no need for us for parts. Because you see the insiders, Azadine, that you have, that you're confiding with, that you tell to start work on these things, they call me. Just like how you have them on your payroll, don't you think I have them on my payroll too? So let's not keep this podcast too long because it's been the second one for today. Tired. I actually just went up the highway to check a couple of my sites, the concrete plant and whatnot. But what's funny to me is that are we as Guyanese people so gullible to vote for a man or a party that has no intellectual people or persons that can do a press conference? One. Two, you copy a manifesto from two persons or three persons and or three parties, so to speak. You don't know what the power output is that we need, and you can't answer a simple question that Gordon Mosley asked you. Your answer was very soon, very shortly. The other night you had a rally and you're like, oh yeah, who sanctioned me? And the crowd, yeah, PPP. You're like, yeah, you're enabling the nonsense. So I want to know, are we as Guyanese so gullible to vote for a party like that? I'm gonna give a warning every day. People who vote for the Win Party, and when you get a seat and when the country becomes sanctioned and you can't get certain things and all of these things, you will regret that day. You'll regret the day when the bank finds out that you're associated, or again, now GCOM says that you can take your cell phone into the polling station or the polling booth. Now when you take it and you take out, and let's just say you decide to vote for Win, and the bank finds out that, or the bank sees you taking a picture with the OFAC sanctioned man, as you can see, bank accounts and banks are dropping them like flies. So think about your future. Like I always say, think about the next 5 years of voting for PPC and where they can take you. And think about how far this country has come from 2020 to 2025. And think about how much work our leaders have put in to get this country where it is. Like I said yesterday, when you drive to the new Ogle Highway, they should rename it. And I'm gonna petition for this, to rename it Little Queens or Little America, because that's what it looks like. I just came off the highway, and the amount of construction that's going on there, it's tremendous. I want to end this podcast by saying, I really don't care who goes and do what interview. I'm not going to be pressured. I'm not going to be, taking advantage of, because you guys stole my truck, then stole somebody else's truck, and then you're gonna vilify me? Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna take that. I don't take bullying. That's why most people don't like me, because I'm a guy that I don't like to be bullied if I haven't done something wrong. Now, I want to end this podcast by saying, vote PPPC come election day, regional and general elections. Make sure your X goes in the box. We have 25 more days to election. Make sure your X goes in the box. Vote smart, vote wise, vote for your future, vote for your children's future. And I want the Indo and Afro-Guyanese to know, and the Amerindian and all the other races, that this election is the most pivotal and crucial election in Guyana's history. Here's why. We have funding now to do so many projects. Projects that include gas to energy project. Projects that are infrastructure. New airport. When last have you been to the Cherry Dragon airport? Where our airport is 10 times nicer now than Barbados airport. And I used to rate Barbados airport as a nice airport. We have walk bridges, so many different things that we can brag about. And if we Guyanese are so gullible to vote for a win party because the man give you 50,000 here and a 30,000 there and an engine here, and you think he's doing philanthropic work, no, he's not. That is the money that he stole from you, the Guyanese people, by not paying his royalties on the gold. That's what he did is he stole your money, and he's now giving you back your money. So the money that you're receiving is your money. It's not his money, because he didn't pay the royalties on the gold. So I'm not going to be bamboozled. I'm not going to be threatened. I'm not going to be whatever you want to do. I don't care. At this point, I think, and I'm assuming that Azidin will probably make an attempt on my life because he thinks I'm picking on him. But you're born, you gotta die. That's my philosophy. But coming down 25 days more to elections, Guyanese, are we this gullible? To look at today, for example, with the doggy press conference. The man can't come out and even do a press conference. My God. Imagine, you guys sometimes in the comments compare him to Trump and say, oh, Trump had so many charges and this. But put Trump and him next to a press conference. Trump eat him alive. He might cry like a little bitch when he done. And put him next to the Honorable Dr. Barjak, the Vice President. He might beg to join the PPP party. Well, obviously he can, but he might beg to join. Don't be surprised if Azadin Mohammed votes PPP come September 1st. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching my podcast.